I remember when I got started in my financial journey, one of the books I read that was a hallmark to my career was Rich Dad Poor Dad. It totally changed the paradigm of how I looked at finance. I remember one of the things that really appealed to me was investing in real estate. Whenever you buy real estate, you're able to get cash flow, you get tax benefits with the depreciation, you get your mortgage interest deduction, and then, you have equity, the equity upside. But as the real estate market has transitioned and changed, you know, the environment we're in right now, we're in this high interest rate environment. Interest rates are around 7%, and it's very hard to find a lot of deep discounted properties. And that's not the way I invested in real estate anyway when I first began. I remember my dad got me this course. It was about lease options, and that's how I started investing in real estate. And that is one of the strongest ways to invest. You know, um, right now I do things a little bit differently. My goal right now is cash flow. I'm trying to have as much cash flow as humanly possible. And one of the things, as I got involved with this business model, which is shared living investing, and basically, I remember the first shared living house I had, I accidentally made about $2,000 after all expenses were paid. I was like, wow, okay, this is something else. But let me tell you what was so unique about it is that I actually rented the house rather than buying the house. And then acquired another house. That was another $1,600. And then acquired another house. I think that was like $2,300. So we did the math. 1,600, 2,300, 16. That's 39. 39 plus an additional 2,000, $5,900 on a monthly basis, just off three houses that I was able to control with the lease. I didn't have any type of long-term liability. I didn't have to qualify for any financing. Matter of fact, there wasn't even any credit checks. I was able to do all of this within a 6 to 8 week period. And now I'm up to 16 properties. And it's just a beautiful thing to know that I can get a house whenever I want to. And, to kind of break this down, the example I always give is I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's just hypothetically say that you're able to, let's say you are able to qualify for financing. Let's just say you're able to identify a $300,000 house. Okay. Now, typically, if it's investment property, you're going to have to put 20% down. So 20% down of 300,000 is $60,000. All right. Now, with traditional financing, if you're going to just rent that house out to a single family, by the time you net everything, you're lucky if your cash flow is $200 or $300. But with shared living, it's $1,500 plus. Let's just go with that example. So $1,500 times 12 months, you would have received $18,000 of monthly cash flow. I'm sorry, $18,000 of annual cash flow. But your initial investment was only $60,000. So that's a 30% ROI, which is good. Now, when you're leveraging rental arbitrage, you can control 8 houses for that same $60,000. So just imagine 8 times 1,500 a month is $12,000 a month. So that $60,000 allows you a cash flow stream, monthly net cash flow of $12,000 every single month. So at the end of the year, you would have received $144,000 of cash from a $60,000 investment by controlling 8 properties. You didn't have to qualify for any of these properties. And guess what? You don't have that long-term 30-year liability on these properties as well. And for me, this just really woke me up. And I said, you know what? I can create significant cash flow real fast. I know from the time I was starting, within 9 months, I was over around $27,000 every single month, free cash flow. And I was like, wow, this would be great for somebody who may not have saved enough money for retirement. Maybe they're looking for opportunities to pay down some debt that they have. Maybe they're looking to make sure they have enough money to be able to maybe give